Hey guys, Aaron here with Functional Aesthetics, Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Just coming back in from doing a snow shoveling workout, Wisconsin style here. Lots of snow and ice all over here. Well, anyway, as odd as it might seem, the topic of today's video is abdominal training. So here in Wisconsin, we're not really thinking about beach weather and showing your abs off at the beach or anything like that. But ab training is still a very important part of your routine. And although you may not have to do as much specific ab training as you might think, which I'll show in this video. So in this video, I want to show you six core exercises that I think you should incorporate into your routine. Obviously there's dozens of core exercises out there, but I think these ones hit most of the bases as far as what you need to build a solid core.
Our first exercise is the suitcase carry. It is similar to a farmer's carry, but with more emphasis on the obliques due to the offset load. Like the farmer's carry, this exercise works most of the major muscle groups, making it a highly metabolic exercise, meaning that you're going to burn a lot of calories, and it also elevates levels of anabolic hormones such as testosterone and human growth hormone, which are all beneficial if you're trying to become lean. This exercise is great for people who are low on time, don't have a lot of time to train. For the point that you can kind of combine your cardio and your strength training together. You're not going to get the benefits that you would if you're doing a full bodybuilding routine, but if you're real short on time, don't waste your time with the little isolation exercises. Stick with compound movements like this. You're going to burn a lot more calories and build a lot more muscle in a lot shorter amount of time. Hanging leg raises and L-sits. So in a previous video, I think it was the one on how to fix anterior pelvic tilt, I had demonstrated doing some negative L-sits and leg raises. And the reason for that had been that we're going to be working the lower part of the abdominal region, so the lower abs, also works the obliques as well. Whereas if you're doing crunches, you're only working the upper region of your abdominals. Our next exercise is the corkscrew. This exercise is really quite energy intensive in that it works most of the major muscle groups along with the core musculature, especially the internal and external obliques. The quads, lats, shoulders, and glutes are also significant contributors. In this first picture, you can see how the obliques work to rotate the torso to the left. At the same time, the left latissimus dorsi, seen in the second photo, contracts to assist in rotating the torso to the left, pulling the left shoulder back towards the right glute. The right gluteal muscle also contracts to assist the left lat muscle in this function. Ab wheel rollouts. So this is a great abdominal exercise. Not only helps with the abdominals, both the obliques and the rectus abdominis, but also helps a little bit with the chest musculature, a little bit in the lats, depending on how you perform the exercise, as well as helping with shoulder stability. This exercise can get a bad rap, just like deadlifts sometimes get a bad rap for causing back problems. This exercise gets a bad rap for also causing lower back problems, and that's mainly due to the fact that a lot of people perform the exercise wrong. So when you do this exercise, when you set up for it, you want to start with your back in a neutral, your lower back in a neutral position. So don't have an excessive curve in your lower back, inward curve in your lower back. If you need help setting into that position, one thing that helps me is to focus on tipping my hips backwards and kind of tucking my butt under a little bit at the start of the movement. But prior to doing that, you want to take in a deep breath, then tip your hips under as you exhale, and then taking another deep breath, slowly lower yourself out as you are taking in that breath, and go out as far as you can until you feel like your abs are no longer being engaged and you are focusing and you're starting to feel it a little bit more in your lower back. You might want to experiment with this a little bit to find out where that point is. A lot of people tell you that you should keep your abs contracted or braced the entire time you're doing this movement. And I feel that personally it just doesn't yield as good of results if I keep my abs braced the entire time. Not that, or like in a concentric contraction. So you want to be lowering it. You want to be extending your abs slow and in a controlled manner. So eccentrically controlling that movement like a rubber band lengthening. The reason for this is that I feel if I can keep my abs contracted, I kind of get cramped up. I can't breathe as well, and I also feel like the contraction on the concentric movement, or when I'm rolling the bar back towards me, is not as strong either, and I feel like I'm limiting my function there. Russian twist. Okay, so this is a very pretty common exercise to see in gyms. However, it is still very effective. In addition to working the rectus abdominis in kind of an isometric fashion, you're also building up stability in your torso, working the obliques in a rotational fashion. Again, supporting one of their functions of supporting your spine during twisting and turning movements. It's not quite as intense as, say, doing farmer carries or hanging twisting leg raises. However, it is a good finishing move, or something as you are dieting down a little bit weaker or something like that. A good move to add a little bit more detail to the abdominal region, especially the section in between the obliques and the rectus abdominis. Okay, so the last exercise for this video is going to be the weight plate crunch, which is basically just an intensified version of a traditional crunch. It also doesn't put as much stress on the neck extensors, and like a sit-up, does not put as much emphasis on the hip flexors as a sit-up would. This is a good exercise to superset with hanging leg raises, reverse crunches, or L-sits, being that as I mentioned before, the L-sits and the hanging leg raises work the lower abdominal region, whereas this one emphasizes a little bit the upper abdominal region. This is also a great exercise to do at the end of your workout when you're a little bit more fatigued, as it is not as energy intensive as an exercise such as the corkscrew or a suitcase carry.
Alright guys, that concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed the content and hopefully you learned something new today that you can take into your training. If you did like this video, be sure to hit that like button below. Also, share this with other people you think may find it useful. Subscribe to the channel if you like more content like this, and leave me a comment below. Let me know what kind of abdominal exercises you like to do and which ones you feel are most effective for you. Thanks guys for watching. We'll see you next time.